Good morning, Year 8, and welcome to our IBL launch day. At this point in time, you've now completed your smoothie bar incursion. I hope that you loved it. We really love working with them. And that's given you a chance to see what it would be like if you were to actually run a business of your own. We now go into Bentley Secondary College's IBL version of the smoothie bar, and this one gives you a little bit more freedom than the incursion that you actually did. So in the incursion, you went through the process of coming up with some marketing ideas. You went through the process of coming up with a signature product, designing a bit of a business, all around the theme of a smoothie bar. Now, as we go into our IBL project, you're going to continue that idea of building a business, but we open it up now and give you a whole bunch more freedom. And as long as it's a food-based business, we don't care which kind of food you would like to do. So if smoothies wasn't really your thing and you'd much prefer to open a donut shop or a cookie business or a sandwich shop, now you have the freedom to go through and actually do that. So, why is it that we run these IBL projects? We like to give you the opportunity to take some of those skills you learn in your maths, English, science, humanities, languages classes and put them into a real life context. This allows you to see where things you are learning actually comes into play in the real world. These sorts of projects allow you to be very, very creative. They give you a whole bunch more freedom in the direction that you actually go. They allow you to learn how to communicate effectively within a team. This first IBL project is a teams project. Bentley Secondary staff have put you into groups, and we've designed the groups really just based around who's in your normal class as well as your language class so that you can continue to work on IBL all the time. The reason we really want you to work in a team is because it is a skill that you're going to need once you leave school and join the workforce. Rarely do you actually get to join a job with your best friend. Usually, you join into a company and start working with a whole bunch of new people. This means you are going to have to learn how to communicate effectively with people that you may not know so well. This IBL project is giving you a chance to practice some of those skills. When you're in your teams, you're going to have to communicate with each other. That's both listening and contributing ideas. You're going to have to make sure you share the workload. We can't leave all of the work for one person to do. You need to make sure that you have um, completed any of the tasks that you are supposed to do within your team so that you are going to be contributing to the overall completion of this project. So, what is it that we're working through in today's lesson? So, right now in period one, you will have gone through an introductory assembly. If you happen to be absent, it's okay. On our website that we've created for the IBL Smoothie Bar, I've uploaded all of the PowerPoint slides from today. So you do have a chance to look through them if you are absent or just simply if the project moved too quickly for you. Next, we're going to go into our period two class where you're going to get the chance to read all of the tasks. Now, there is a student booklet that's been made for Smoothie Bar with 13 tasks included in it. These tasks are going to be completed over the next week. So you'll have plenty of time to work through these, but you really want to read them and make sure you know what's coming. If you can plan for each day, that's going to make your life so much easier and it's going to alleviate a lot of stress for you. After you've gone through and read the tasks, each of you are going to go through and complete your own individual goal setting activity. Now, this goal setting activity can be found on our Compass resources under your home group tab, which is week A, period 0 on a Monday. So you could go collect it from your home group tab under resources. I've also included a couple hard copies in the actual folder that's been given to each of the groups. It's also available on our website. So whichever of those seems like your preferred method for going through and grabbing that goal setting activity, we want you to grab that, fill that in, and then you will need to upload the completed goal setting task again individually to our home group week A, period 0, Monday learning tasks. You will see one there that is called goal setting, and each of you need to go through and upload that goal setting task. Then we're going to head into period 3. During period 3, you are going to be now working in your groups and starting your first task for the IBL project. That is setting your team norms and protocols. So we want to go through and set up these norms and protocols so that we can try and have the best success possible with our IBL project. Some of the things we want you to think about in your team norms and protocol is what good effective teams you've worked with in the past and what about them was so successful. We then want you to think about what teams you've worked in the past that may not have been so successful. What was it about those teams that you could go through and make sure you didn't replicate? Because anything that wasn't successful, we obviously don't want to be bringing into our actual IBL projects. After you've talked about what makes a good, effective team, you're going to talk about the things you want your team to do. And you're going to start to write out what your team is going to look like. Finally, you're going to go through go through and set some very specific expectations within your group. These expectations are going to include how you're going to resolve conflict within your team if you're not all on the same page about something. You're going to go through and discuss how you plan to communicate with each other outside of class time. So, do you plan on setting up a Teams page? Do you plan on setting up a Teams chat? Do you plan on emailing with each other? Are you actually all friends with each other on a different pro, platform that you can communicate with each other? That's up to you. How are you planning to communicate with each other outside of class? Next is, what are you going to do if someone is absent? You need to decide how your team is going to work when somebody is going to be away. Finally, you need to, oh, not finally, next you need to work out how you're going to divide the work amongst your teams evenly. Then you need to work out a plan for what if someone isn't completing the tasks that you had assigned to them. And then how are we going to make sure everybody feels heard? After we've completed those sort of setups for our effective team, we need to delegate some tasks to people because there are a number of things that need to happen on a regular basis. So we need to make sure we have a person that's in charge for each of those teams. Some of those things include a person who's responsible for holding on to all hard copies. We've given you today quite a number of hard copy pieces of work that you are going to have to hold on to throughout the duration of this project. We've given you a little folder to hold on to them too. Who's going to be the person responsible for holding on to those hard copy pieces of paper? Next, who's going to be the person responsible for making sure at the end of each day, everybody has all of the assigned work that they need to get done? So who's going to be the person responsible for assigning all, communicating with everybody? Next, who's going to be the person responsible for uploading the final product to Compass? So you are going to have to upload this final project on Monday, the 8th of May at 3 p.m. Who is the person who's going to be responsible for uploading that task? That person is also going to be responsible for submitting the hard copy of a folder with all of your hard copy final tasks. That person is also going to be responsible for submitting any of the group tasks that needed to be uploaded. So along the way, you are going to have a group task of uploading your norms and protocols, a group task of uploading a checklist at the end of Tuesday, a checklist at the end of Thursday, and then as mentioned, your final product. So that person who's uploading needs to be responsible for each of those things occurring. And then final person we need to delegate is the person that is responsible for checking the work you're doing against the rubric. We've given you a very detailed rubric of exactly how this project is going to be marked. The person who's responsible for checking that rubric should really be looking at that every day and trying to make sure that all of the work is getting done that is required for you to get the best marks possible on this project. So that's a brief rundown of what our project actually looks like for today. As mentioned, a couple quick reminders. All of the tasks that we upload on resources, all of the tasks that you need to submit, that happens on Compass on your home group tab, which is Monday, period 0, week A. That's where you look on Compass for any resources. At the bottom of every lesson plan is a link to a website. That website has been created so that you can watch these videos each day. That website has also been created with all of the resources and all of the lesson plans on it. So if you're feeling stuck at some point, that website is a really great place to jump into to have a look at what work is being completed. I encourage you to be visiting that website several times throughout the day. Last bit of information from me. All of this is working towards a Showcase of Learning night. Showcase of Learning night is where we invite your parents to come up and see the amazing work that you have done. That will be happening on Wednesday, the 20th of May from 5:30 until 6:30. Your whole team will need to be there and they will go through and set up the actual business that they have created. There are many tasks that you are working throughout this project that have hard copy things that you will be displaying on that night. Many students in the past have actually also taken the time to create extra marketing material that they are able to bring in on that night. Many students have also taken the time to go through and actually create some of the product or the biscuits or donuts or smoothies that they intended to sell to share around as samples with the families that are coming to visit. So all of this work is going to get shown to your parents on Wednesday, the 20th of May from 5:30 till 6:30 when we invite your parents up to the school to see the work that you are doing. If at any point in time you're feeling unsure about what you're supposed to be doing, check in with your teachers, check in with Mr. Decker, check in with myself, Miss Dark, check on the website, check your Compass lesson plans, check your student booklet. There are loads of places you can go to find any resources that you may need. I hope you really love this project as much as I do. I will see you guys next week for our next video where we'll be talking about what we're going to do in our Monday classes. Thanks so much, guys. See you soon. Bye.